All right, we coming back, family. Knocked my live off a second ago, but we back. I was just getting into uh, how do you know when you found the right partner, right? So this would be kind of like part two to the live I was just doing. But how do you know when you find the right partner? What's up? What's up? What's up? Boss Trucker, peace to you. I don't know if you was just on. I was just talking about some things dealing with narcissism and how to know, um, or just how to know when you're being gaslit, things like that. And somebody asked me, um, how do you know when you found the right partner? Right. So figure we'll continue building on that. That's what the live now. Give me one second. Let y'all come on in, man. Well, I got back on, but not me on. Hey, good boy. Hey, what boy? I'll get us one. If you put the nap on, I think I know how to get that figured out. All right, family. So I'm gonna continue on the topic of knowing you found the right partner. All right. So believe it or not, it starts before you even meet them. If you're a woman, if you're a man, regardless of who you are, you should have a plan for what your family is going to look like if you want a family. Um, each individual in life is responsible for manifesting the life that they want. This is not on the male or the female. Each person that's taking part in this life is responsible for manifesting the life they choose. So, family is something that is very, very important. It's something that we're all going to have. And so, I believe that we're thrown off as far as you getting in on this to me. I see that. You getting in on this to me? It's rare, right? And we're not taught the importance of family and why you need a good spouse to create that family, right? Why that spouse is the key element to create that family. Because you want it to have longevity. You want them to care, you want them to nurture, provide, protect, everything that you need from a mother or a father, right? Um, so we really should be already thinking about what type of families we're going to have, even at a young age, because this is the most important decision you'll ever make. And other cultures do this. They make that the primary thing, okay? Because family is most important. Um, but if a man or woman is going to create their family in this world, you're going to what you believe like, and you got to be thinking about the next life. Okay, so what you want your grandchildren to look like? What are you trying to do? Um, so if you are a woman and you know you want a certain type of union, then you know that man when you see him, right? Um, if you're a man, you know you want a certain type of union, a certain type of lifestyle. You know that woman when you meet her, right? They likely going to embody um, what you want your children to be like when they get grown. You see what I'm saying? So if you know you want your children to be a certain way, imagine them Okay, now how did they become that way? They had to have had a father or mother who helped contribute to that, right? So now you got to start finding a woman or man who embodies that likeness. This would likely be the mother or father to your future selves, to the family that you envision. You understand? So now you're not just chasing lust or chasing moments and just trying to meet people. And if you can make it work and get along, this could be your husband or wife. No, that's what shows you your worth and your value by how you see your family. Okay. So once you find this person though, and they seem to embody everything you want in a person, how do you know if they are the right person? Because just having those qualities alone doesn't mean you guys will get along, right? So like I told you, in life, you're supposed to be able to be honest with God and God move, right? Be concise with God, be contrite. Go to God with a contrite heart, be sincere. With a person that you can't be genuine with and get a natural response from them, you're probably with the wrong person. So again, if you're angry and you go to get the response you want because you went to yelling and didn't state clearly what you were yelling about instead of yelling, right? If you get offended and you start yelling, they may yell back because they're simply the universe. If I slap water, that water's going to hurt my hand. So whatever I give the universe, I need to expect it back. So this exists in your spouse's too, family. If I mistreat her, her if I felt mistreated, which is why I mistreated her. So instead of reacting from emotion, try to react from an honest place of vulnerability. You hurt my feelings. You made me feel like you didn't care about me. You made me feel like you didn't support me. Um, Maybe when you yell at me, it makes me feel small. These things, when you say these things honestly to your partner, they get to know how you truly feel, not the reaction from how you feel. So we're taught to act out of our reactions, not act out of our emotions, not state our emotions. If you be, the more vulnerable you become, is proportional to you stating your emotions. You don't have to be crying to be vulnerable. Okay, you don't have to be emotional to be vulnerable. You just need to articulate your emotions clearly with no fear of being shamed for it. This is how you can be completely vulnerable. So me as a man can be completely vulnerable by just saying to my lady, "You hurt my feelings, right? You made me feel disrespected. I shouldn't have to go, but you." And if I got to do all of that, I'm probably with the wrong person. If they got to see me broken down, or even that, don't get that out of them, I'm probably with the wrong person because I did it the right way. I went genuine. I didn't kick and scream. I went genuine. And so I think this is why you guys start feeling hurt in relationships. You go about it the right way, but the person doesn't respond. And so it makes you feel like they don't care. Because in your mind, if my partner came at me that way, that honest, I would hear them. Right? Well, that's how you know. You don't want to be in a relationship with someone where you never feel heard, you never feel taken care of emotionally. That's important too. So the provisions are important. The cooking and cleaning, all that stuff is important. But what's most important is the inner workings of your relationship. So when you hear people talk today, right, they go, I want a man that make a certain amount. Well, I want a woman who's fit, feminine, and friendly. Well, it's going to start with a healthy conversation. It's going to start with two mature adults who were developed enough to be able to have a difficult conversation without running from accountability. And what that often looks like is gaslighting, playing the victim, all the toxic shit that y'all going through in relationships. And what we do is we look at it and say, it just ain't nobody out here good for relationships. Well, let me discourage you and encourage you at the same time. 1 second, guys. You're looking for the numbers. Let me discourage you and encourage you at the same time, guys. It ain't got nothing to do with relationship. It's about people. People are underdeveloped nowadays, and so when they're underdeveloped, they run from accountability. I'm looking for numbers. You say? Yeah. You see where it says? Okay. And what number are we looking for? You can park it anyone closest to the front. Oh. That's the online ordering. Can we just play here? Yeah, they come out. Bring it over here. Hmm? Bring it over here. They
Like I said, they physically come out and check on the cars.
Oh, they see you had to come out here and check on you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Mike, where did you tell me to make it clap and call me daddy? That's a hell of a pause, bro. That's a super pause. So do it make sense, family? Having somebody you can be genuinely honest with and then respond is a telltale sign that you found the right person. However, if you cannot do that, if you're being your most genuine and they are instead blowing up, gaslighting, all of that stuff, it don't mean they're bad people. It just mean they're not right for you, at least in their development. Okay, so someone could have all the money in the world, have all the discipline in the world, and that discipline could be directly related to the time he puts in at work. But because he puts so much time in at work, he may be not that developed socially. That's like a lot of women experiences when they date a doctor or a lawyer, someone who poured themselves into their schooling, didn't spend a lot of time hanging out, developing those social skills, and then they're dating this guy who's so much a square, so much a nerd. He has no charm, no charisma, no way to know how to treat you and woo you and make you feel all special. He just has no game. But he's sufficient in terms of taking care of a family. And I always encourage men, you can't just be a one trick pony. It's good to chase your career, but you got to get out here and entertain women. You got to get out here and get familiar with the ladies, because they're going to be able to tell. When you meet them, you're going to be all nervous in your voice and shaky. And when you say, I'm uh, MD Kevin Wesley, I mean, it sounds good, but they just dried up when you said that. I'm a pediatrician. I'm a pediatrician. I'm a pediatrician. Okay, the pediatrician. Huh? Can you make it to a pediatrician and still be smooth though? Because hey, and not just outside of his presentation and being charming and not being shy and scared and stuff like that, but just knowing how to deal with those type of conversations too. He could be horrible at that. So all of that matters, man. All of that matters. And I'll just keep it simple right there. There's other ways to know. We'll go into that later. But that first thing is have a plan for your life. Know what you want your relationship to look like. If you're a man, that's going to tell you what your budget's going to be for your relationship, so you don't go into it just giving all your damn money away trying to buy love. Ladies, that'll tell you what type of man that you want, so you don't waste your time giving your body to men who are not worthy of you, because they're not worthy of the husband that you're choosing. And so if they're not worthy of the husband that you're wanting to marry, he ain't worthy of your most precious. And I'm telling you now, yo, um, um, if women looked at it this way, if men looked at it this way, if she ain't worthy of being my wife, I'm not fitting a trick on her. He'd save a whole lot more money and have more money and resources for his wife when he meets her. But the man shouldn't spend all his money going broke and then want a virgin. She saved herself just to be broke with you. They should get all the treasure in the world. They saved themselves. You didn't save your money. So I'm just saying, if a woman envisions the man that she knows she wants to give herself to wholeheartedly, by mind, body, and soul, and she already knows the man she wants to marry, wouldn't you think she'd be less likely to waste her time giving her mind, body, and soul, her greatest gifts, her womb, to somebody who is a loser? If you know you want to marry a certain type of man, you probably wouldn't just screw any type of man. Does that make sense? And if you would, then you throw it off, because the man that you envision probably ain't gonna want you because you too loose. Just like if you're a man and you are weak with your money, what woman could value you because you're easily manipulated? Like you give your money up real quick. Any woman could use you. It's not even special what you're doing for, because you just did that for the last lady. You're trying to buy everybody a drink. Why would I feel special? Terry Dow, peace to you, King. It starts with parenting. If they aren't taught better, they don't know better. Absolutely. And that's the thing we missed. Our parents didn't even know how to date and how to find partners. So they didn't truly teach us correctly. So we out here flying by the seat of our parents. So I believe a man creating his family starts when he's very young. I think a woman creating her family starts when she's very young. The skill sets that you learn, the talents that you learn, like from playing piano to guitar or writing or whatever, these skills you picking up are going to be passed on to your children. Did you guys know that? Not just your born talents, but the gifts that you learn, the skills you learn, are also passed on to your child. So as young men, you should become more as disciplined as you can, dive into as many things as you can, learn your talents, learn your skills, learn who you are. And if you know who you are, it's going to give you a good foundation for knowing who your children are because you know your talents. But if you lazy, ain't never tried hard, ain't never ran a mile, ain't never worked out, ain't never played a sport, you don't know what you're good at. So your children are going to come into the world blind too. So creating your family starts very young. It starts first with getting to know thyself, know your gifts, know your talents, create your skills, create your livelihood, so you can take care of a family. Okay. So the woman is like learn those necessary domestic skills because you're going to nurture a child. And even if you're going to be working and not likely doing all those skills, you might say, I'll hire a maid. But you still want to be able to teach your child how to do these things, and you don't want the maid teaching them. You're forsaking the holy interaction of you raising your own damn kids. Okay, some things should come from you, not some person outside of you. Our teachers already have taken our place, teaching our children, the studies in school. You see, but don't let them replace you in their domestic home. I mean, they got home ec and all that stuff in school. That's fine. But cooking the way you cook your food, preparing food the way you prepare your food, those recipes, these are inheritances that should be passed down. And if you're a woman and you say, "Well, I don't cook," then you cutting off your family line. Your recipes they stop with you. Your family's legacy of recipes stop with you because you didn't go learn and you didn't keep the skill up to pass it on. Well, mentalize. So I have to agree to disagree with the last statement. Sometimes you teach your children the ways, the proper ways, and they sometimes go their own way and don't care to adhere to our teachings. That's true. But the thought in mind is that the skills are still in them. So if you raise your child up to play piano, they may not take this all the way and make a career out of it, but that skill is still in them. So that means your grandchildren may have these skills and they may want to use them, right? So that's even with your moral code. You know you raised them right. So if they don't go do it, that's on them, but it's in them, baby. You know you put it in them. And so I believe that you should put in them as much as you can. That's going to help them learn who they are. So no, they may not use those skills to survive off of them, even thrive off of them, but the skills are there. So let's just say if you didn't grow up playing sports at all, likely your children won't, right? But if you grew up playing pee wee football, your child might play pee wee football. My daddy put me into it. I'm gonna put my child into it. Now they may take it all the way where you didn't, right? Or you might have taken it all the way and they didn't. They might have started off playing football like you, but then decided they wanted to be a doctor. But their children will still have those skills because they were still cultivated. They just didn't choose to go about that as a way of life. So keep in mind your children are your future selves. Passing of the baton looks like teaching them all that you know. So there's always going to be a benefit to teaching your children all the skills you picked up along the way, even if they don't particularly carry them all the way throughout and make a living out of them. Does that make sense? Look at Lacey over here.
Don't be catching me off guard.
Mhm. I teach mine regardless if they decide to go another way. Absolutely, you have to give them some direction. and also encourage them to make their other choices if it's better for them. I look at it like this, Phoenix, and you're right. Each child is to their responsibility is to make their family better, take you further into the future. And so when you have multiple children, you expect them to go out in multiple different directions and learn the world. And even then, they should be bringing back things to you to teach you. We all, each one teach one. So I want to give my children, uh, the best of me, so they can go out and build on that. And they may even come back and challenge me with what I taught them, and I may learn something from them. And I'll have to trust them because I gave them my strong mind. So I have to trust their judgment. Bob, did you ask me to fart for you, bruh? Go to OnlyFans. I'm sure somebody over there is doing that. Be money well spent for you.
Hmm?
Well, for him, it would be. He want to see it.
I'm just making the noise that somebody asking. That's crazy.
What's it on my head? It's called a kufa. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Some children just want to rebel. That's true. Like the old saying, if you have more than one child, it's always the one that prefers to head their head and learn from your mistakes. People say the darndest things, man. I think I'm gonna really put together a master class on.
Unfortunately, he says he looked it up in the system and it's been canceled.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would highly recommend calling the customer service line if there's any questions
Okay,
on how that happened.
no problem. Thank you.
So we can just go in.
I could go if you want to finish your line.
I'll catch up. Technique.
Um, it's up to you. I was gonna say I'd like him to stay on as long as possible. If you don't mind, but I can take
I'm
him.
coming right away. I'll bring it for. Um, yeah, I'm gonna do a master class on. Oh,
That's fine.
I'm about to back out, girl. He's about to get ran over.
Where are you going?
I said I'm gonna go ahead and park. I ain't gonna park right here in the pickup place. You didn't hear me say I'm gonna go ahead and park. Oh, dang, I said yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and park. Look back over there. You stepping out the car. I'm about to go in reverse. About to be WCW. About to get clothesline. Yeah, I'm gonna do a master class. I think on starting a family, what that looks like. I would join the master class. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna get out here and see who all want to do that, and we're gonna do some real building on what how you should be developed, how to develop yourself before you create your own family, because that's essentially what you're doing. All those things that you're going to be doing to get yourself set up for your family will ultimately be developing yourself so that you can have the necessary skills um, to lead a family, to nurture a family. Most of the problem families that we don't know what we're doing is mostly user error. We keep saying the kids so bad today. The kids are so bad today. They're so disrespectful today. Yo, it's user error. You think the kids just popping out more disrespectful? Nah, they find a way to keep us so busy that we give our children less and less and less of our training. And so they're raised by the majority, by the cattle. So they pick up the cattle. So you can understand what I'm saying. They pick up these bad behaviors from the cattle. So we have a society raised by a melting pot of low vibrational people. We don't have a village raised by culture, righteous teaching, rites of passage, spirituality. D.B. Cooper said, "My back is broken." Okay. It starts with having a vision and a plan. Absolutely. Otherwise, your heart gets ahead of your plans and you end up a victim of fate. Be intentional. Powerful, powerful. I want to end it with that, Phoenix. That was powerful. Hopefully you join the class and drop some insights. The teacher said I'm joining the class too. That's a bit. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get back to y'all on that. Peace to you. If you want to join this class, make sure you put it in the bottom too, and I'll make sure I try and message y'all when I ready to start it up. All right, it's gonna be $1 million a month. Get your money